Hello everyone. We are now in week 6. The consent form is due week 7, so October 13th this semester. It's worth 30 points. So if you go to the consent form and download the PDF, it looks like this. So the consent form is a practice for you to work on, understand what goes into a consent form, to understand what the kind of things that you let your participants know when you are asking them to participate in your study. So even though it's not typically part of a research proposal and you won't include this part in your proposal per se, it is an important step for you to see how these things happen. So USU actually has theirs. If you click on this link that I have in the PDF, it'll take you here. For the most part, we're going to be using this one. If you're using kids, you can use this one that specifically talks to parents so they can give consent for their kids. If you click on this, it will pull up, it will download this. So for you, what you're going to be doing is just filling this out. So it says, note to investigators, this template is quite long, but is structured to encompass all the possible things that you need to meet the standards for informed consent. So some of this stuff won't be applicable to you, and you can take the stuff out that you don't need. Most of this you will, and where it's red, you're going to be filling in the gaps about your study. Some of this stuff you may not know exactly, but you can put in what you do know. So at the beginning, you can put the title of your study. You can take this section out after you understand what it's saying. Here you'll put my name as a PI, and then you can add yourself as a researcher conducting the research. And then the purpose of the research is, and then you put it in as clear terms as possible what the research is trying to accomplish. So this part, you won't need as much if your informed consent will be longer than 4 pages. You can take that out. So the procedures, this one you're not going to know exactly yet, but you're going to put in some things, even if you're just starting to think about what is supposed to go in there. Start to put those things in there. Take out anything that isn't related to what you're doing. Talk about any risks there are to your participants, the benefits that they can get, how their data will be confidential. This one is always important, that it's voluntary participation and they can withdraw at any time. And then in your proposal, if you're thinking about providing participants with some sort of compensation, you can talk about it here. So the IRB review part right down here is where you can provide just my email. You can take this part out, provide my email, and then put your name here and put my name here. And then that should mostly be it. So there's no youth here, so you can take that part out. And so ultimately you should have just like 2, 3, 4 pages at the most of this. You don't need to be super in-depth, but you need to give enough that if someone was really taking your study, that they would be able to participate knowing what is going to happen. So please reach out if you have questions about this. This is to help you understand what is told to participants, what should be for ethical research, and help you to think more in depth of how you're going to actually perform your research for your proposal. Because the thing after this, one of the things is the method section. The method section is where you're going to describe exactly what you do in your study. And I'll talk more about that in coming weeks. But this will help you get started with that. So again, please reach out if you have questions about this assignment or about the informed consent in general.